fans, Jordan Kiss back with you once again. Day one of training camp is complete now. Today I'm with the coach of the Kings, Brock Sawyer. Brock, day one of training camp, how was it for you? Is everything going to plan right now? And just how excited are you to finally be back in action?
It's it's the best time of year. Obviously the players are back and they're hungry, and I thought day one was great. Our energy was great. Guys were competing. Obviously the first day, and everything went well. Everything went smooth. Everyone showed up healthy and in shape, and a bit of a skate test that the guys went through that I think went fairly well. So obviously a few guys will have to keep on, but no, all in all, it's an exciting time. I think day one was a huge success.
And over kind of this next few days here, before you get into the preseason, what kind of are you looking for in your players here in the early portions of training camp?
Honestly, just a good attitude and a good work ethic every day. As a group, and talking with Chad and Kyle, and obviously adding Harry to our staff is a big addition for us. But talking with everyone, it's just coming to the rink and enjoying every day. Through camp, we're gonna push the players mentally. We're gonna push them physically, and see how they adapt. So hopefully, when we go down to Chilliwack, next weekend, we're ready to play and we're prepared. So obviously, we're just looking to have fun and build on our structure for the season, and like I said, push the players and enjoy it.
Now, obviously, lots of new recruits to the Kings this year. Are there any couple of players that you're really looking forward to having and coaching and see where you can take them in their games?
All of them. It's hard to pinpoint one or two guys, obviously, but no, I'm glad the work that Chad has put in and Kyle has put in, and then collectively, just as a group, the three of us just forming our roster and adding good people to our program is something that obviously we've done extensive work in terms of video breakdown on each player and strengths and weaknesses, and calling their old coaches and getting a feel for them off the ice and what they're like in the dressing room. So we feel we've upgraded in a lot of different ways, and it's exciting to get a new group of players to work with, and getting to know them and their families in the short time that their families are here, but more get to know them over the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks leading into our home opener.
And then with this Kings camp, the players that you have here, this is your team for this season. There's no cuts to be made. You're not evaluating really anybody to see if they're going to make the team or not. As a coach, how much of a difference does that make as you kind of approach training camp in the preseason?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say there's no cuts to be made. Like we talked this morning as a group and said you can't take a day for granted. If you're not showing up with a positive attitude and a good work ethic, you're not making your teammates better. So the accountability factor. So everyone's replaceable. It's bad to say, but it's one of those things. You can't take it for granted. You have to enjoy it. Every day is an opportunity. It's a privilege to play junior A, especially in the BCHL. So we're obviously looking to add some pieces, like Chad said yesterday, to our team, and we're excited about the players we have here. So we're building the foundation here for a great season, and we're hoping the returning guys can help lead that charge, and the new guys can join them, and collectively as a group of 22 or 23, whatever we end up with, we're a unit of one, and we're ready to go.
To chat about this a little bit yesterday, and actually today. Last season, obviously, you don't want to dwell on it, but for you, last season, obviously, your first year as a head coach and a lot of learning experiences for you from last season. What were you able to take away from last year, and how can you improve this year?
Do we have enough time in this interview? No, obviously there's a lot. There's a lot of reflection, a lot of reading, a lot of talking to other coaches and attending conferences. And one of the biggest things was you're managing young men, and it's tough to manage. Last year we had 24 players. It's tough to manage 24 different personalities. And then in the reflection process and talking with Chad and going over our roster, obviously, we came to the conclusion that one, we weren't athletic enough, and two, we weren't smart enough, so we needed to address that. And then for me, it was, okay, how do I as a coach, and how do we as a coaching staff make our players better? How do we push them to be better day to day? And talking to a lot of the returning guys, they outlined strengths and weaknesses that happened in our group last year and where we needed to improve. And I addressed that here this morning. And personally, for me, it's obviously Claire said it was a tough summer, and it was difficult as well. But you just keep reading, you keep studying video, you keep talking to different coaches at various levels, and you pick their brain about different things. I had a coach asking, how do you manage conflict in your roster? How do you manage different egos in a dressing room? And I kind of laid out the expectation, information overload in that aspect. And that's kind of one thing that I think we're going to do this year is really look at numbers and look at game footage and look at day to day around the arena here and how guys how they work and what their day to day is like. And if everything goes according to plan, everything should fall into place for us to be successful on Friday and Saturday night.
Perfect. Then you add Harry Mahesh to the coaching staff, and full-time coach needs to be able to travel with the team. For you personally, just to have that extra guy on the road, how much does that help you?
Yeah, I mean it's huge. Obviously, Chad and Kyle did a great job last year. I think a lot of it was sometimes we vent to each other too much, but continue to work. But to have Harry, obviously he's hungry. He's a great coach. He's a great player. But we cross paths quite a bit in the minors, and actually, I was on one team one year. He was on a different team. He came into that team and ended up living with my old roommate. So we have a lot of common friends and former teammates. And when the announcement went out the other day, a couple of guys I'd called just to check about him, and everyone said he's great. He's hungry to coach. He's a great coach, but he's a better person. And that's the type of person that obviously we want to add to our program and add to our staff. And I'm just looking forward to working with him. Obviously, kind of share similar experiences in terms of our playing careers, but now to have somebody new join and reflect ideas and bounce ideas off each other. I mean, I think it's going to be a great relationship here. He's just as excited to work and be back and involved in BCHL and be at this level and work together and hopefully build a successful team here and a program for the future.
Now you did play against him a little bit in the SPHL. Do you remember any moments against him on the ice there, or is he kind of
He's tough. He was a tough player. He's also a competitor. He really wasn't afraid to fight anyone, and he had a good player. He skates well. He can handle the puck. So, from what I remember, we had a couple of good battles against his teams, and everyone just says he was the ultimate competitor. And one-on-one, I don't think we had any battles. I definitely didn't drop the gloves as often as he did, but no, he could play. So, like I said, happy to have him, and like I said, a lot of common teammates and friends that we still keep in touch with, and obviously they speak very highly of him. So, to me, it was a no-brainer to bring him.
Absolutely, and it just goes to show how small of a world the hockey community really is. If somebody you played with, Gary Gensel, many years ago now, here you are in a different country, different part of the world.
We're in the southeast United States and living down there south of the Bible Belt, and here we are in Powell River working together. So it's exciting, and really looking forward for the months ahead.
It's going to be very exciting to see what you and Harry and Kyle and everybody can do here with this Kings team. Kings back on the ice for training camp tomorrow, 12 o'clock. It is open to the public, so if you want to come beat the heat, stop by Hap Park Arena, see the new Kings in action. And we'll hopefully for the best as the training camp continues. Again, thank you very much, Brock. We'll have many more interviews to come as the season goes on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.